What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, and welcome everybody to week 4 of the IBA Season 3 team preview, where in this week, we're going to be going over the team that I am bringing versus Monk of the Houston Haxorus. Now, not only am I fighting him in the IBA, but I'm also fighting him in the RCF this week, so you're going to be getting a lot of Gokey versus Monk content this week. Be looking forward to it. And also, we haven't fought each other since literally March, I'm pretty sure, in an official draft league, because we didn't fight each other in the IBA Season 1.5, and we also didn't fight each other in IBA Season 2, which is kind of insane when you think about it. So I'm very, very excited. I'm hoping I can put in work versus his team. I'm just moving my microphone so that way I can see the screen a little bit easier. But yeah, hopefully, crossing fingers, we'll be able to make this work. So, I'm very nervous though, because Monk is team building with Wes, and I'm not team building with anybody, so we're gonna see what happens. So, without further ado though, let's go ahead and go into the team preview and see what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing him, what I think he's gonna be bringing, why I think he's gonna be bringing it. So, first up on our team, just as a reminder, we've got Celestial, Akurum, Thunderous, Sylveon, Incineroar, Slowking, Xurkitree, Hitmonlee, Palisand, Skuntank, and Shuckle. As you can see, our team is still the same. Still thinking about one trait in particular, but I think for the most part it's going to stay the same unless I have a better idea later on down the line. So yeah, that's the team we have right now. And the team on my opponent's side, aka the Houston Haxorus, he has got the team Latios, Conkeldurr, Scizor, Primarina, Crocodile, Crawdon, Entei, Venusaur, Bronzong, Jolteon, and Emolga. A very, very hyper-offensive team like Cahoots' team last week, so I'm feeling fairly... okay, I'd be lying if I said if I was feeling confident. But, regardless, there are definitely holes in his team that I think I can take advantage of, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to take advantage of. In terms of what I think he's going to be bringing, I think he's going to bring Latios. Actually, I know he's going to bring Latios. I'm 99.9% sure he's going to bring Chlorophyll, Venusaur with Sunny Day, and Weather Ball. I think Entei has a very good chance of making an appearance. I think he's going to predict Incineroar, and he's going to bring Crook or Primarina, one of the two, maybe both. And I think Jolteon has a very good chance of coming. In terms of Pokemon I don't think are coming, Conkeldurr, I don't see Conkeldurr coming. Maybe he'd bring it with like Mach Punch or Fire Punch, but I don't think it makes an appearance compared to the rest of his team. Scizor, I could see him not bringing, but I could also see him bringing just in case he doesn't want Kyurem to get away with any setup. And also because it hits Sylveon super hard. Primarina, I think, has a very, very good chance of coming. Crawdon, I could also see Crawdon. I don't think he'll bring both of his water types, though. I think he's going to bring one or the other. Bronzong, I don't think is coming because it doesn't really put in that much work versus my team. And Emolga, he's going to bring Jolteon instead of Emolga. So, and I think there's a very good chance he's bringing Jolteon. So if I had to predict his team, I'd say Latios, Primarina, Crocodile, Venusaur, probably Entei, and Jolteon. That'd be kind of my prediction, I guess, would be the best case. So, yeah, that's the team I'm predicting he's bringing. Now, in terms of the standings, we are still in 9th. Our victory versus Cahoots was absolutely clutch. Putting us at a 1-2 instead of a 0-3, which is nice. Right now, the other 2 and 1 and 2 are the Buffalon Sabres with 1 point less or in differential than us, which in this case is good. And then the Dutch Dupiters are behind us with a -7 in differential. So, yeah, we're definitely looking on the more favorable side, but we definitely really need a win in order to secure a placement. Our differential is not great. I will say that. I will say that up front. Our differential is not great. We're going to need to start picking up some solid wins if we want to progress. In first place, obviously, the Atlanta Victinis, because the Atlanta Victinis are the Atlanta Victinis. Next up is Slightly Salty, next up is West, next up is Q, next up is Stremmy, who's been putting in a lot of work, which is crazy. Next up is the Dutch Prowers, next up is the Lansing Leafeons, next up is the Buffalon Sabres, next up is your boy, next up is the Dutch Dupiters, next up is the Houston Haxorus, who we're fighting this week, next up is the Hawaiian Kumaos, next up is the Atlanta Braviaries, and last is the Dashing Dittos. This battle is going to be very crucial for both of us because, for one, I obviously need the win in order to try and make the green and try to make a comeback. But the Houston Haxorus really need a win this week. Otherwise, they're going to be looking really bad in terms of playoffs already in week 4 because they do not have a single win yet. So they're really, really hoping for a win. On the one hand, I hope they are able to pull back and get some dubs later on in the season, but if they lose against us, then they're going to have an uphill battle for sure. But, yeah, overall, that's the standings right now. And in terms of details on Monk's team, Let me look it up real fast. He does not have any really great hazard setters besides Bronzong and Crook. And I don't think he's going to bring Bronzong just for rocks. I don't think he's going to do that. Because he knows I bring heavy-duty boots on Incineroar all the time. He knows that I have a bunch of defog users and stuff like that. I don't think he's going to bring Bronzong because I don't think it has a great matchup versus my team. Because I can just always set up on that thing and it's great. In terms of Crook, why would Crook bring Stealth Rocks? I don't think Crook is going to bring... If he does bring Crook Stealth Rocks, then kudos to him. In terms of hazard removal, he does not have any rapid spinners, but he does have a bunch of defoggers. So even if he does set up hazards, we're bringing hazards this week, so he's not going to want to deal with our hazards. So he's going to bring he's probably most likely going to bring defog on something to get rid of our hazards. And in that case, he won't be able to set up hazards on our end either, so that's great. In terms of a cleric, he only has Jolteon with Heal Bell and Wish, which could be good, but not as good as some of the other evolutions. He does have a decent amount of priority with Groudon, Primarina, Scizor, Entei, and Conkeldurr, and Emolga, and Jolteon, and all that. So we do have to keep in mind he has a pretty good priority game. He does not have many taunt users. He does have a lot of knockoff users, which is concerning. And he does have a decent amount of momentum gain. So that's some things to keep in mind. Obviously, I'm going to try to take advantage of his lack of cleric and hazard playability. So that's what I'm mainly going to be taking advantage of. Hopefully it'll work. So, without any further ado though, let's go ahead and go into the actual team preview. And we are back, my dudes. So, this is the team we're bringing, and I'm now going to explain why we're bringing it. So first up on the team, we've got Will Smith, the Thunderous. I love how everybody's been getting the reference with the name, by the way. I love it. Shout out to all of you guys who've gotten the reference. Holding the leftovers, the item is to be determined. I might switch it out last minute, which I tend to do a lot, it seems like. But we will see. We got the ability Prankster, and we got the moves Knockoff, Thunder Wave, Roleplay, and U-Turn. Something I'm going to be playing around with a lot is trying to nerf his offensive threats, like Latios, like Scizor, like Groudon, like Venusaur even, and things like that. So I'm going to be trying to take advantage of that, and that's why I'm bringing Thunder Wave. In terms of why I'm bringing Roleplay, I'm bringing Roleplay specifically for the Jolteon, in case he wants to send this thing in and try to Volt Absorb a Thunder Wave or something like that. Or if I want to try and predict something else coming in, or if I want to see something's ability, just to kind of get a thing on like, okay, this is the ability, cool. So it's a little bit of hidden tech, but I'm hoping it'll come in clutch. But yeah, anyways, knockoff is to knock off items, and U-turn is to gain momentum. This is obviously a very momentum gaining set. This is a set to weaken things down because there is one Pokemon in particular that is going to be the late game sweep, and hopefully he'll come in clutch. You can see this is a more bulky set. Max defense is somewhat bulky in defense and somewhat bulky in HP. So this is the Will Smith set. Again, I might switch out the leftovers, but I also might keep it. If I do switch it out, it'll probably be for maybe heavy duty boots, I'm thinking, but we will see. Next up on the team, though, we have got Dwayne the Incineroar. Once again, a momentum-gaining Pokemon. With the heavy-duty boots, as always, with the ability Intimidate, Blaze Kick, Parting Shot, Darkest Lariat, and Bulldoze. Max HP, almost max attack, and a little bit of bulky special defense. This set one-shots things like the Latios, it one-shots things like the Scizor, it one-shots things like the Venusaur. So that's the biggest reason why I'm bringing these sets. Intimidate is going to really come in clutch versus his teams, particularly against his physical attackers. Obviously, Parting Shot's also going to be amazing. Blaze Kick obviously claims life. Darkest Lariat obviously claims lives. And Bulldoze is to have speed control. However, I might switch it out for something like Earthquake or Drain Punch or something like that. Not too sure yet, but we will see. I also might keep it just so that way I can get some momentum gain with Bulldoze. If I predict a switch, I can Bulldoze and then Parting Shot out easily. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I think I'm going to keep Bulldoze because I think it has a very, very good shot at weakening some of his Pokemon, and I think it'll be great. So yeah, next up anyways, though, we have got our Cleric of the Week. We've got Ribbons, the Sylveon. Slightly different set than what we brought week 1, but regardless, still a great set. Holding the leftovers with the ability Pixelate, Hyper Voice, Wish, Mystical Fire, and Heal Bell is the moveset, max HP, max Spadef, and a little bit bulky special attack. This thing is our special defensive wall. It's meant to take hits from the Latios, from the Primarina, from the Venusaur even, from the Jolteon, and stuff like that. It is also meant to deal damage against a lot of his other Pokemon as well, like if I predict the Crocodile switch, or if I predict the Conkeldurr switch for whatever reason, or if I predict the Scizor switch, or something like that, then this thing can claim lives. Pretty much the only thing that this thing can't touch is the Entei, So, but we also have other ways around it, like Incineroar and stuff like that. Hyper Voice for Stab Fairy also hits things super hard. Wish, so that way it can Wish Pass. Mystical Fire, so that way I can weaken things on the special attacking side and also hit the Scizor super effectively. And then Heal Bell is there just in case something gets paralyzed or something like that. Again, this is a more support set, but it also can deal offensive damage if need be. So we're going to hopefully see if this thing comes in clutch. Crossing fingers. Next up on the team is one of the MVPs of last week, being Dorkly, the Shuckle. You'll love to see it. Holding the leftovers as well. I might switch it out for Berry with the ability contrary with moves Knock Off, Sticky Web, Stealth Rock, and String Shot. Max HP, max special defense, a little bit of bulk and defense. I'm putting max def on there for specifically in case he goes up against the Latios. So that's the thing. Obviously this thing's meant to set up hazards, meant to get rid of items, and then String Shot is there just in case I'm able to pull off one more hit. I can String Shot something, make sure its speed is doubly lowered, so like that'll neutralize Venusaur in the sun, and things like that. So that's kind of what I'm playing around with this set. Hopefully, crossing fingers, it'll come in clutch, because again, he does not have that many reliable hazard removal, besides like Latios, Scizor, and Molga, but again, he'll have to get rid of an attacking move in order to make room for Defog, which I like, and again, I don't think he's going to bring a Molga, and in terms of the top 3, he'll want to have attacks on all 3 of those Pokemon. So sacrificing one thing for Defog might not be something he does not want to do. So, that is important to keep in note. But yeah, anyways, that's the Dorkly set. Pretty standard, you'll have to see it. Next up on the team, we have got Zaara, the Palisand, holding the leftovers with Water Compaction, of course. And then the moves Shadow Ball, Shore Up, Amnesia, Scorching Sands. This is a very, very similar set to what we brought week 2. Max HP, 108 in defense, 148 in special defense. Obviously, this thing does very similar things to what it does last week. Monk's not gonna like this thing, I can already guarantee it. Amnesia to set up special defensive boost. The defensive bulk is there for Crocodile. Does not do well against Coronon, so unfortunately we are going to have to switch it out for Coronon, unless we get a burn with Scorching Sands, which is why we're packing Scorching Sands instead of Earth Power, because again, not many Pokemon want to, not many Pokemon on his team doesn't like, ground attack, so I decided I'd rather have the weakened grounded attack in exchange for a 30% burn. So, especially against his physical attackers, which are going to be his answer for this thing. And then Shadow Ball is there for Stab Ghost, also claims lives against a lot of his Pokemon. So, that is the Zaara set. And now last up on the team, we have got the MVP of this team. The team that is going to hopefully late game sweep similar to Kyurem. We have got Bruce, the MLE, Normal Gem, Unburden, Boost. We have got Fake Out, Knock Off, Blaze Kick, and Close Combat. This thing combined with Fake Out can KO Latios, or with like hazards up or something like that. Knock Off is there to just knock things off. Blaze Kick is there for the Scizor and for anything weak to fire. And Close Combat is there for anything that doesn't want to take a close combat. This thing is meant to late game sweep. That's what the purpose of this set is. Max attack, 212 in speed, 44 in special defense. This thing is meant to claim lives at the end. Something to note as well is that we like to joke that Monk does not like to deal with Hitmonlees, so that's why I'm bringing it. This is a kind of last minute set. I had the rest of the team already prepped. I knew I was going to bring the first 5 Pokemon. And then I couldn't figure out what I wanted to bring for the 6th Pokemon, and I decided to go with Hitmonlee because of the fact that it can easily late game sweep versus this team, particularly with things like the Primarinas weekend, if the Entei's weekend, if the Bronzong is really weakened, and things like that. So, yeah, that is the team we are bringing. Hopefully, it'll come in clutch. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here and say thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also, be sure to check out the IBA battle tomorrow and the RCF battle on Sunday, where we're also going to be taking on Monk. And it's going to be a crazy match. Again, I don't know if I'm making trades this week because it's literally Tuesday as of the time of recording this. I'm battling Monk later tonight. So I won't know until the end of the week, but we will see. I have a very good Pokemon in mind that I think I might trade, but we will see how it goes. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you dudes in the next video. Peace out, mates!